In 1886, Ellen White visited the British Isles as part of a European tour. She was going to attend a pastoral meeting in the town of Grimsby. And prior to the meeting, a number of workers gathered and in their discussions amongst themselves and with Ellen White, they were intrigued and they were concerned as to the progress of the evangelistic work here in the British Isles. They mentioned the weather, the cost of hiring halls, and the challenges of people being receptive at the doors. And of course, meeting Ellen White, a great pioneer and leader of our church, they really wanted to hear from her what could be done. And she said to them that times will change in the British Isles, that greater opportunities for evangelism will emerge. However, they were not to wait for these changes to occur, but with what opportunities they had now, or as the little lights, as she said, they were to go out with their little lights and make them shine and light other lights. And she was really saying, look, evangelism is not something, and reaching people and reaching the people of the British Isles is not something we wait for. It's something that we have to move day by day and moment by moment. And in our report, we hope that you'll be able to see how we have taken our little lights through the various departments and ministries of the church, and we have seen how God has moved powerfully within the British Isles.
One of the challenges of communication is that ideally it's a two-way thing, but often it only comes one way, particularly programs that we put out on the internet, on Revelation TV and places like that. But I had a very interesting letter come from Taku, who lives in London. He'd actually caught a little bit of one of our programs. He'd turned to the channel by accident and he was watching, and he wrote in and said, "I saw something, I want to know more." And I wrote back to him and discovered that his friend had just died. He was asking questions and we got into a good communication, and it really touched me that just by accident he watches an Adventist program that we produced within the British Union, and it made a difference to his life, the life of his wife, the life of his friends.
You know, the ministry of Jesus was so impactful that it effected change in every individual he came into contact with. That has been my prayer for our departmental work. And, you know, in our health ministries department, whether it was through the varied publications or the health shows and programs that we've put on, we've had so many letters and emails and phone calls from individuals who said, as a result of that program, I've now made positive changes in my life, gone back to my GP, and my health has been restored. And we want to give God thanks for that.
Over the past 5 years, we have seen a number of people from the majority population join our church. In 2015, we ran the National Lay Bible Workers Convention. 4 English people, guests at the hotel. They asked if they could be a part of our worship service. They stayed for the worship services, and they also stayed for the seminars. They even left us contact details, and we promised to keep in touch with them in the future. We've seen growth over the last 5 years from the ethnic groups as well. People are using traditional and contemporary means to bring individuals into the church. Our church has grown from 31,000 plus to almost 36,000 members strong.
In 2015, we held the Youth Congress, the British Union Youth Congress, and there it's about individuals, not just about a big event and lots of people. After the event, we got some feedback, and that includes Danielle, who said the British Union Youth Congress was a life-changing experience for me, where I found joy in rediscovering the Jesus I thought I knew. I remember speaking to a young man as well who told me that he'd somewhat drifted away from church and God, but being there, he realized that God was personal to him, and that he realized that God was calling him not just back to a relationship with God, but a relationship with people at church.
We've been blessed by the Woman of Virtue program, which has now gone global. But the impact of that was to encourage women and nurture them to embrace the potential in Christ and through their ministry, whether it be home, school, work, so that we are really making women vessels and embracing their Christian virtues to impact their home life, their community, and their church lives.
Over this quinquennium, we had a British Union pastoral team meeting, and our theme was being salt and light. We need to be salt in our communities. You know, the importance of salt is that it changes the things it touches or it has interaction with. Ellen White said in 1886 that we are to be lights, and she quoted from that famous sermon of Jesus in Matthew 5. Being salt means we change our communities. And what we have seen throughout this quinquennium is that when congregations and members fully understand the importance of engaging, of being salt in their communities, powerful things happen.
I wish I'd kept a record of the number of times people have said thank you and sent emails or phone calls expressing appreciation for the work that my department does. I was walking through the park the other day and a lady stopped me and just said, "Lou, thank you for the seminar the other day. It's completely changed my life." And I think that's what the union is here for. We're here to make a difference through our members and our churches throughout the union and Ireland. And make a difference in adding joy and understanding to the gospel and excitement as they share the good news of Christ's return.
Proclaiming the gospel might simply be for us going out of our homes, going into our communities, sharing love, sharing compassion, planting seeds of kindness so that someone else will come to grow in God's garden.